Radio check. There. Hello. Welcome back to Radio Check. You there? I am Melissa.
And I'm Cris.
We have a special guest today, and we're here today to talk all about what happened in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Now, let's get started with Paddock Pulse. There is no breaking news or any team or driver updates, thank God. But we did have a livery helmet galore. So we're gonna start off. Williams had a special livery going into this weekend. They had a Union Jack inspired kind of livery, a one-off type thing. Cadillac decided to do something kind of, if you ask me, iconic. They had a special livery for the 4th of July. Any thoughts? I know we spoke about that over the weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was a little cheeky of them to do a red, white, and blue livery. Obviously, it's for the 4th of July, but also kind of cheeky that it's at the British Grand Prix, where we obviously celebrate our independence
from them.
So it was a little cheeky move there by Cadillac, which is I thought it was funny.
Yeah, for sure. And even Valtteri decided to follow suit and had like the American flag on his helmet.
Him and Checo. Checo also had a U.S. colored helmet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. And of course, we had Lewis. He had a special helmet, race suit, pretty much like the whole, not race suit, but like shoes and helmet going in, celebrating like the 20 years he's been racing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of his Ferrari merch was.
He had the plus 44 drop.
Right, yeah, but I don't know how much of his Ferrari stuff was celebrating his 20th or his 20 years of racing as much as his actual helmet was. And I don't know, I just thought it was cool because it looked very much like it looked a little bit of both, but it looked kind of like the lid he would wear like during his karting days, but it also looked just like the very first helmet he wore when he started racing at McLaren. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And speaking of McLaren, they're continuing with their 1,000th Grand Prix start, and this time they took inspo from their first F1 car, the M2B. And of course, Arvid took spotlight too with his special helmet for his first home race. Carlos went with a nice chrome red, which was actually like pretty cool. I like looking at it. Ollie and Lance also had something going into this weekend. Oscar actually had 2 helmets.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. So I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, we had Lando going on with his Lando stand. It's actually kind of nice seeing the neon yellow. Our girl Meg was out there on Saturday. I can't wait to hear all about it and to share with you guys her experience. And I do want to point out Checo coming into the paddock yesterday with his Mexican football kit on. Given that they did lose, unfortunately, but
Yeah, again, a cheeky move by Checo to show up, wearing. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. You want to wear
you want to represent your country, and it's just that they're also, they were also playing England yesterday night. Like you said, unfortunately, they didn't make it through, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, again, cheeky move by Checo. There. You love to see it.
Yep. Now, going into the race weekend, we only had one practice because it is a sprint. So nothing out of the norm. Pretty much we had Lewis running out the top 3 with Kimi and Charles behind. Sprint quali and race, I felt like was just kind of like here, okay, done. I mean, Lewis got pole for the sprint, and then Kimi ended up winning the sprint, but it was his first time winning the sprint race.
Yeah, I think sprint quali was, I think it was good.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think people expected. Well, we didn't know what to expect, considering you know we did well in
Free practice.
no, the not last race, because last race at Austria we were pretty much in no man's land. But
Spain.
we did well in Barcelona. So we did well in Barcelona, and we expected to kick on from there, and so
Because we had the upgrades and everything.
yeah, and then being kind of like in no man's land, like I said, at Austria, kind of like, okay, whatever, maybe it was just a one-off. So seeing Lewis take pole, I think during sprint quali kind of like gave hope to be like, okay, there's maybe something here. And I mean, it was a mega lap from Lewis to put that car on pole, because Kimi definitely had a good lap himself. But yeah, and then the race happened, or the sprint race happened, and
Kimi got it.
Kimi got it. I mean, again, Lewis said, once he got into that overtake distance and he got the extra energy, I mean, there's really nothing he could have done there to defend it. So it is what it is. It kind of, I always think sprint weekends, well, at least maybe not so much this year. Well, yeah, this year I would say also, but I think sprint weekends are in a way such a letdown for an actual like race, because it's like you get the sprint and then you kind of like see where the teams are already. Obviously,
like
you're not getting a full length race, so you don't get like the strategies with pit stops and stuff. But you kind of see race pace wise like where everyone is, so it kind of takes away from the actual race. So that's kind of a bummer. So you kind of already knew, okay,
these are going to be the Mercs, top teams.
Yeah, and you can see that. All right, those thoughts of, okay, maybe if the Ferraris do get ahead of the Mercs, can they keep them away? And clearly, you see that even it's with like Lewis, right? Even with Lewis being in P1, once Kimi did get into that overtake, within that overtake, the limit, there once he got that extra energy available to him, there's nothing that the Ferraris could have done. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it was a great sprint quali.
Yeah, and then of course we turn around right into quali. Again, fifth pole for Kimi.
Yeah, fifth pole. I mean,
it's major.
It's starting to become, he's. I think also too. I mean, I believe Bono has a lot to do with it. I think Bono,
he's so experienced.
Is so experienced, and he's able to, because you can kind of tell, you get glimpses, like when we're hearing the radio messages come in between Kimi and Bono, like you can see Kimi can get, and granted he's young, he's very like eyes wide open, and like he wants to, you could tell he wants to do everything at 100 miles an hour, and like he's very passionate, obviously, and you can tell he's a little hot-headed, and then I think that's why Bono is such a great I guess yin to his yang. That
I was gonna say it's like a good balance.
He's able to like level him out and keep him focused on what he needs to do. And I think that's been big for Kimi, because with in not as an experienced race engineer, we don't know how Kimi, because we could see, right? He's fast. Everyone's known he's fast. Kimi has been touted as the next biggest thing, right? And so we know that the pace is there.
The expectation is there
exactly.
Too.
So him having Bono in his ear, I think, is helpful. And so I think him putting it on pole, he's just on it. He's on fire. We're seeing the talent that we knew was there. We're seeing it finally unfold. Unfold, and I think I think Kimi, as long as Merck keeps developing and everything, if everything goes correctly, I mean, Kimi is going to be probably one of the biggest,
ones,
biggest drivers for the next era. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. I do want to say Isaac finished ahead of Max in P5. Well, not finished, but he like started on the grid
yeah, he out
into
qualified
yeah
Max, no,
for the first time
and
this season, but like yeah,
yeah, I mean, and I think
I think that's
it's big
mhm.
because I don't think anyone has been able to out qualify Max.
Not since Checo
Um,
probably.
yeah, not since Checo. What was that? 22 or 2023.
23, yeah, somewhere around there.
So for a few years now, and
He's doing it.
even then, right? Like that's been Red Bull's biggest thing is they haven't been able to find someone who's been able to really challenge Max
Hmm.
in that second car.
And still be like
Um,
dependable to like put it up
right.
there where like Max is too.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing for them, right? Like you have
Hmm.
Max, obviously Max is Max, and he's gonna give you everything he has on every any
Hmm.
given weekend, and the other car hasn't been up to par, and you know so it's been costing the teams points.
Yeah.
So having Isak doing well in that other car, I mean it's big for Red Bull because they can definitely do with points
And
for the
him too.
constructors. So yeah, and for Isak, yeah, obviously for
Yeah.
Isak as well. I mean for him it's also, I think it's
Beneficial for him.
yeah, well it's for his confidence, right?
Yeah,
His
exactly.
self-confidence. He
Yeah.
knows, okay, like I belong,
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah. He's proving himself.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it shows that he's not, he doesn't care that it's a 4-time world champion in the other
Hmm.
car. He's gonna
He's making his mark in the
exactly.
team and in the sport. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, good on Isak.
Yeah, good on him. I mean, it was just like a tough day in general for his teammate Max and
Yeah.
the McLarens, but I mean, you win. I feel like you win some, you lose some sometimes, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's a sport, so it is what it is. So I mean, especially with new regs and all, like it's just
yeah. I mean, this year is very much
learning
a
curve for everyone.
learning
Yeah,
curve for every team.
yeah, yeah. Now going into the race, I know we all heard the opinions about the Lego mini carts for the driver's parade. Essentially, each driver had their own. So the younger ones, they were excited. I actually saw a video on TikTok of Ollie like just whipping it in a circle.
Yeah, I'm indifferent about it. I mean, you could tell some of the more, like you said, like older drivers, or like,
Hmm.
I don't know if you've seen the one video of Lewis. He looked over it before
Yeah,
everything started. He's just like, I'm ready.
with his like AirPods in and
Right. He's like, all
everything.
right, I'm
Yeah,
ready to get going. And then, I think,
Max didn't care either.
yeah, well,
Oh no, not
Max,
Max. It was Lance. Lance.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, Lance obviously did, but I think it was also, maybe was it Esteban? I can't remember.
Hmm.
Somebody was interviewed and they're like, I really don't
Yeah.
care, like
I mean, you can't go fast in this, so it's just
right.
like for them, it's like why
And
even?
yeah, I don't know. I didn't really
I thought it
have an
was cool.
opinion of it one way or another. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's
but
cool.
I thought it was funny though how like all pretty much like half of them beat. And it looked like they all did it on purpose because they
Yeah,
all just like drove into the gravel.
yeah. But Fernando did win
Well, at least they won something, right?
in the Aston Martin on top of that. So yeah, no. Now we do have to mention the Ferraris. Both of them had a stellar start to the race. Charles did get into P1.
Well, yeah, I mean, him and
Lewis,
Lewis
yeah.
overtook Kimi by the first turn,
Mhm.
which it's was good to see since we haven't really seen that for a few
Mhm.
races. I know we started the year
With the rocket
strong
ship starts, yeah.
with the early, with the good starts, and I think after about like round 4, I think that advantage kind of had
Mhm.
gone away. But they were able to overtake Kimi into turn 1. And I think that actually,
And
well,
keep like the pace in
I don't
the
know how
around.
right, yeah, I don't know how much it really helped in the long run, right? Like obviously we know that Charles won the race,
Mhm.
but that obviously was due to Kimmy's car breaking down.
Yeah.
But you got to be there in the end, right? But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it was good to see, at least for that time, being him and Lewis were able to kind of play, like a team role and kind of keep Kimmy behind.
Mhm.
And especially with Lewis then getting that penalty, like he was able to play the team game there a little bit and help Charles extend his lead.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, seeing them, overtake the Mercs into turn one was pretty good. Would have been better if they were able to, hold it that way and
Not get a
but
5-second penalty at
well,
one
yeah,
point.
for
For that
but
false start, which
right. But I mean, hey, he was eager to. It's his home race.
yeah, that's true. I
he
mean,
he
it
was
makes sense.
he was
Yeah,
eager to
yeah,
get going.
yeah.
It's not like he rolled, like it wasn't a rolling start. He just, he kind of just let go of the clutch and the car jerked a little bit, and
Mhm. But it was like an oopsie.
exactly. So I think he was really trying to anticipate the lights,
Yeah,
the light
yeah,
going out, and
yeah.
then him
Which
going.
makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. In the end, it didn't really hurt him too much. He still finished on the podium.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So I mean that's a good part.
yeah. I mean, well, actually, real quick, I don't know. Uh, I don't know if people really clock, but Lewis also finishing on the podium keeps that streak at Silverstone going. I mean, dude's finished on the podium there. I don't know. It's been quite some time. I think maybe for like it's been a good amount of years. I can't recall the last time he didn't finish on a podium at Silverstone. It actually might have been no, because even when he was having the bad year, he finished. His first year in Ferrari,
He
he
still, I
finished
think,
on the
yeah,
podium,
yeah.
P3, I think. So yeah, he's just and even with the bad year in the Mercs, like after
Yeah.
21, yeah, I mean Lewis is gone now. It's been quite a few years since he's last not been on a podium at Silverstone.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he's the king of Silverstone. I mean, most wins there. So, yeah, I just wanted to, you know,
Little fun fact for you.
right, like because I think that's it's insane.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy, like how many like
The longevity.
right the
he has.
longevity he's had at that circuit, right? Like just like no matter what, he's always you can count on him finishing on the podium on the podium places. So it's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
just Lewis things, right?
Just Lewis things. But unfortunately, we still have yet to have a race where all drivers finish.
Yeah, again, I think that's just new regulations.
The new regs, yeah.
It's new regs. Teams are learning. The cars. They don't. Obviously,
It's gonna take time,
it's
yeah.
trial and error. This year is going to be the big learning year for teams, and then I'm sure next year we'll start to get a lot better stability and reliability from teams.
Yeah.
They will understand the regs and the battery and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, 2 out of the 3 drivers, it was pretty much for that. I mean, we had the DNS from Alex and Nico, and then the late one from Max. Virtual safety cars were out throughout the race. Strategies came into play. I mean, Ferrari did Ferrari.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean,
at one point,
I don't. It's hard to see. I think it's hard for me to try to criticize the strategy there with Lewis at the end because you don't know, right? You don't like what if we did get that one lap of racing, right? Like then
there's so
George,
many question marks,
right? Like we don't know that, right? Like and obviously too, like it's unfortunate that he came out of the pits just behind George, like but yeah, I mean it's it's I don't mind the gamble because if it worked then people were sitting there like, oh, what a call from Ferrari, right? And it didn't really hurt Lewis's race in terms of him being on the podium. He still finished on the podium, so yeah, I didn't really have
too much stress
over that call.
that's true.
Because again, if we would have got at least a lap or two worth of racing, then
Who knows
with
what would
George,
happen?
right, with George staying out on old mediums
Mm-hmm.
and Lewis being
Fresh.
on well,
No, not
they
fresh.
weren't
No.
new, but
Yeah.
still being on the better compound tire
Mm-hmm.
in the softs, definitely would have been able to, I think, get that move done and had a Ferrari 1-2, which we haven't had in a while, but I think it's coming.
I think soon enough. I think soon. Um, I do want to talk about Kimmy fighting for his life to finish in the points, especially when he was told, like, I don't know how many times by Bono to DNF. He was like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, that just, I think,
It shows the hunger that he has too.
right, and I think, like, for him to, he's he's like a little beast, man. Like like he knew, right? Like, boom, the car, the car. This is something was wrong with the
Yeah.
suspension, and obviously you got Bono in his ear telling him, "All right, look, we'll just retire the
Mm-hmm.
car," and then him having the wherewithal to be like, okay, well, wait, I'm still in 10th, right? So I can try to salvage this point. And
I mean, he's leading like the championship, so like
well,
every point does
yeah,
count.
every
So
point does count. I mean, I think he has a good enough
yeah.
lead. I think he'll need to DNF a few times or finish, very low
Or
in the
outside the
points,
points,
right?
yeah.
Quite a few times for either George or Lewis to catch up to him. Um, but him having the wherewithal to know that, like, okay, whatever, like I could still at least salvage 8 point. And the penalty in itself.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot he got.
Yeah, he received a 5-second penalty for a black and white flag, which I don't understand. He's not. It's not like he was going off track to gain an advantage. The car was broken. He's trying to survive. He's trying to keep the car on the track.
FIA.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. And so I don't know how much I agree with the 5-second penalty for him, but and look, again, if we don't have the safety car and the race ends under normal conditions, Kimi is probably salvaging that point. I think he had a big enough lead on, I think it was Gasly or Colapinto.
Yeah,
remember.
one of the
Alpines. That I think he had a big enough lead there that he probably would have salvaged that point.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for him. Got the safety car and then the 5-second penalty, obviously, with everyone finishing behind the safety car, just dropped them back down to like 16th or something. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The car, again, I think he got a little bit of bad luck there towards the end. I think I think he was definitely hunting Charles down, and I think without the car didn't break. Yeah. If his car didn't break, I'm sure he would have at some point gotten the win. But hey, sometimes you need a little bit of luck in Charles' case, and he got the win. So.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I am not complaining.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's all right. Kimmy's gonna be there every weekend. So.
Yeah, exactly, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it goes because now Lewis is back up in second in the drivers' championship. Again, it's still a big gap to first, but like it's close between like him and George. Yeah, he jumped ahead George, and then
because George finished in second, he held. I think he's holding.
I don't know. He's jumped ahead. Yeah. And then not Lewis. Charles is in P4 now. So he also jumped ahead, I think, of Lando. So that's fun. Mm-hmm. But this is Charles' first win since Coda 2024. I'm very happy.
Yeah, it's
they're 250.
It's been a rough
2 years.
2 years. I mean, obviously last year was just abysmal, right?
Not even like a podium finish, I think.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was pretty bad. But I think, granted, too, I don't know how much the team really, spent on development on last year's car. And maybe they just said, with all the new regs coming up, maybe they
We'll just focus on
put
the
their
new,
resources on this year's car.
which makes sense.
And which is what we're seeing now, right? We're seeing a much better Ferrari car. And so, I think Charles just not having a great car for a year, and then obviously again new regs, him getting used to this car. From what we know, apparently Lewis had a lot of hand in the development direction of this year's car, and so that's maybe not suited to Charles' racing style, and so him having to learn the car, learn the regs, adapt to the regs. I think it's been a rough start for him.
And he's getting his grounding now.
Yeah, and it looks like he's, because I mean, even along the weekend, right? You had Lewis finishing in first in free practice 1. You had Lewis taking pole at the sprint race. And it wasn't until obviously you had Lewis finishing above him during the sprint. And it wasn't until quali for this race, that not even quali in itself, right? It wasn't until SQ3 that obviously that Charles kind of came alive, and it was like
hello,
right
here.
And so he had a good last quali session, and then he had obviously went on to have a good race. So it's good to see him at
the top, a double Ferrari podium.
For me, now I wouldn't say at the top, but it's good to see him in the other car, right? It's good to see Charles back up on the podium.
A double Ferrari podium.
A
250th win for Ferrari.
Yeah, which is big.
250
for as long as they've been in the sport.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's another milestone for, I guess, the greatest team in Formula One history. So, I mean, good day. Good day for Ferrari.
Good race weekend. Yeah. So, yeah. But that is all for your recap from Silverstone. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. We read them all. We are on Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and a TikTok at Radio Check EU there. We'll be back next time with our interview with the author of the upcoming release, The Paddock Club, Madge Merrill. See you later.
Peace.